Rocky, you already know, sir. You already know. Get the shared out Discord. Will be live just a second, y'all. Enjoy the stream starting screen and the subtle tunes. All right, y'all, getting it shared out. Lots to talk about today. We will be launching, by the way, we'll be launching our feedback for the survey officially tomorrow, but y'all are going to get a first crack at it. Y'all are going to get a first crack to help start spreading this around. It'll be in the video tomorrow. So, it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Fun. F is for friends who do stuff together. U is for you and me. N is for no, I don't like scopeless communication down here in the deep blue STFC. All right, let me go ahead and rotate the screen. There we go. We're alive. We'll turn the music down a little bit. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Music's still not low enough. Oh goodness. Music, chill out. You're too loud. You're too good. Let me just get everything adjusted. There we go. I think that's better. All right, everybody, welcome into the show. My name is Deuce. If you're unfamiliar with who I am a content creator for Star Trek Fleet Command. And I love y'all. I truly do. Y'all are amazing. Every single one of you are incredible. And I hope you are excited to be here with me today. And it's going to be a lot. And Ice Glow, I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to need my moderators because today, and this is the same way we did it last time, live stream is getting first look at our Incursions survey. So to recap, and I can put the details on the screen if y'all need them. For those that don't know, the first time Incursions ran, we ran a survey that almost 5,000 people participated in, and Scopely heard that and made direct changes based on that feedback. And we have the opportunity to do the same thing again. And I want to provide feedback with that and see if it's gotten better or worse. So basically what this new one will cover is the directions that they've tried to take to make it better. However, there are some things that, and I really want to preface this, and I'll talk about it in the video I put out tomorrow about this. But here's the thing. There are lots of things that can get better with Incursions. I want you, if you're listening now, and as you ask people to help out with this, because this feedback is very important to make it better. If you happen to have an like this time around for us on server 20, our opponent was the least active opponent we've ever fought. It did not make them not fun. It did not make them a bad group. They were a really fun server. I enjoyed talking to every one of them. However, activity level, they didn't even have half the number of active players that we did. And even though it was closer than what server 20's had before, we lost just simply not having as many people. So matching is difficult, okay? The server matching, I agree, can be problematic. But here's what I'm trying to get at. We can list server matching as a critique, but I don't want server matching to be the reason people say Incursions was bad. Does that make sense? because that's something that they're working on, finding a balance for everybody. And I guess that's just kind of where, like, I guess you can call this leading, but I think Incursions at its core, while this third run felt a little bit monotonous, they need to add in some new events, which I'm already talking to them about. But I also do think that I don't want to judge it too harshly on that. So let's go over what this survey is going to look like. Remember, the survey will come out tomorrow officially in a video. As always, those who come to the live streams always get like a heads up. Y'all get something extra to look at. You know, personally, I was happy with the 2 change they've made in the past 2 incursions. They've made several changes based on our feedback, and there were some things that are problematic. Now, I included 4 new questions here. I included 4 new questions. You've got the normal run where you need to establish your level. So for example, I would click this one. I'm level 40 through 45. And yes, I've actually enjoyed incursions more. The whole point of this is, did you enjoy incursions, but are you enjoying them more based on previous runs? Then we've got the standard 2 questions we had last time, and I've added 4 based directly on changes they made from your feedback. Now, this is not changes they made based on Rev's feedback. This is feedback they made on your feedback. And if y'all want, we'll go over, and maybe I should ask this first. For those who are here in the chat, who saw the presentation I made based on your feedback from the first time? Does anybody not know what we're talking about? And I know it sounds like we're in like a classroom setting, but I want everybody's opinion to matter. So if people out there have no idea what we're talking about, I'll re-show it. If y'all are good, then we'll keep moving with this one. All right, everybody says good, we're good. Okay, everybody was there, great. So I added 4 new questions here at the bottom. The one on the very bottom is, did Scopeless communication improve or get worse with the third run of incursions? Like, did you know about it and did you participate? So I included that because, well, in my opinion, this was something that got much worse the third run of incursions. We've had multiple servers who were on a bye week who are now participating. We had basically every new server in the game had to run the incursions prep events, but then got no incursions. And there's several people, especially their spenders, who are very upset about that, and understandably so upset about that. So I've included that as an issue that I really wanted to highlight. Then we've got, did you like Scopely's change of the attack defense events and their timers? If you remember, originally in the first run of incursions, the layout was 12 hours blank attack and 12 hours blank defense. And now they have them running concurrently with one another. So if you go over to the other side, you're doing an attack. If you're over on your side, you're doing defense. I want to get a just straight yes or no based on that. Then they made specific changes to the PvP events and changed them to damage based with no system locks. So I'm curious how that is for people. Personally, I thought that was better. But here's the thing, even if Rev thinks it's better, if 5,000 people do this and 4,000 say it was worse, then Rev's opinion doesn't matter. And that's why we're doing the survey, to get a feedback from as many people as possible. It was also easier to complete these SMSs by using base hits and using minor hits, and even using some of the cheesy tricks like Leslie as captain or Severus and stuff like that. So y'all will get to vote on that. And by the way, I will be dropping the link in the comments. Y'all will get first crack at this Google form. I do really want to emphasize, please, when tomorrow's video drops, not only watch it, but share it out with everybody. These forms and these surveys only work when y'all back it. If y'all's voice is there, they listen. If it's not, they don't care. So then you got, did you like Scopeless change of running incursions on weekend outside the battle pass? This was one of the biggest ones for me. So yeah, all of that. And then if you have write out what you did or did not like about incursions, this is where you would say, hey, the lag was really bad for like the last hour of incursions. Something you would put out here in the feedback form. Now, I will go ahead and tell you personally that while I did experience some lag at the beginning and the end of incursions, it wasn't enough for me to say, no, I didn't like incursions. I still enjoyed it, but there are problems within it. I am still trying to keep the yes or no very black and white. That way, the people who just hate incursions, I want you to say no, because I feel like if you hate incursions, I need to find a way to make you like it, whether it's adding in PvE events, capture the flag events. I want to find a way to bring people over there. If you liked it or enjoyed it but got frustrated, then you're a yes. So anyway, that's how we're doing it. And we'll need all y'all's help, because if we don't get the people who participate, we don't get the people who are passing this along, well, then they're not going to listen. And I understand why they wouldn't. So this is the slight changes that we've made to the survey this go around. A month later. Make those who opt out invisible to the opposing server. Dale, that's not a possibility. I understand where you're coming from. That's not something they can do. It's not possible. So, hey, Darren, good to see you. We had lag for the first 2 hours or so on Incursion. We weren't even scheduled to have. So chill out. Typically, because those servers are all going to run the same regional bracket through AWS. If some servers are lagging on event turnout, most servers are going to lag on event turnout. But there are cases of individual server lag. So Laura, what are things that you want to adjust? And Laura, I know one of your answers is going to be the PvP brackets, but let's be realistic. That's not happening. Like, even if it were to happen, it's not going to be 5 up and 5 down. So besides that type of stuff, Laura, that just shows that I'm very familiar with you being here, and I appreciate your opinion. Dark Paladin says, we had lag, crashing, and issues after Incursion. I lost a Sting because of it not counting. That's problematic. And I do think, if y'all remember, when we did the last presentation, we talked about the fact that lag was mentioned like 1,300 of the 4,600 people. So about 25%, about 30% actually, mentioned lag specifically as a problem that they were having going through Incursions. So I do think it's important to note that. That's your biggest problem, so I guess I'm not going to participate. I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. I'll be honest. My personal take on it is I don't care that the brackets are open. I really don't. I don't care that a level 60 hits me. It doesn't bother me because there's so few of those players. I play with players in my level. That's what I've always done. But that's just how I play. I can't expect everybody to play how I play. I still have some logs from that day. You see, like, I'm fighting 48s and beating 48s. I'm fighting 52s, 44s, 52s. Rating of 36. Then we're fighting 45s. I fight the people around my level, and that's who I try to go after. And if there is a 52 that I can beat, then I'll go after. And I can't show y'all any of these logs because they were on the other server, but you know, this is how I personally play. And every now and then you're going to be able to have that cool log where you do sneak them. Like, for example, I got 2 of this level 52 ships. I got his Cerritos and I got his Mantis. So it's just finding what's fun for you. And that's kind of got to be the focus. I've also got a lot of this, a lot of that, but it was a good time. Okay, for strictly a rating event, lag was horrific. PvP's worthless. Not enough separation between levels. Level 47, no competition with 50. Again, Dennis, here I am beating people at level 52. So it's all about how you play. That's not what happens for me. I just keep getting blown up by people who are massively bigger than I am, and I stand no chance. Laura, I promise you that you stand a chance. It comes down to officers and researchers and picking your targets. If me at level 42 can beat a 52, then it's possible. It's definitely possible. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. And once again, I say that y'all get first crack, so I mean it. We're gonna share the survey out with y'all, okay? So y'all are gonna be the first ones who get to participate in this form. I would ask that, that's a lie. No, it's not, Johnny. How is it a lie? How is it a lie? I've been playing this game for 4 years. How's it a lie? We'll give y'all the form. Y'all give your honest feedback on Incursions. If you didn't enjoy it, say you didn't enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, say you did and give whys to all those. Please answer all the questions if you can, but y'all get first crack. And I want complete honesty. If you're sitting here like Rev, no matter what you say, I hated it. Good. I want to know. And that feedback's important. And if you're like Miss Laura and you want the PvP brackets made smaller, list that. Because if y'all remember, the last time we did this, when we went through this and made the presentation, I included that stuff. It doesn't matter whether or not I agree with it. It matters what the group says, what the population of this game say. And if that's how y'all were, that's how I want to present it. And just to reiterate that, here, let me show y'all. Here's what we did last time, just for those who are unfamiliar. Let's see. I feel like this display capture needs to be adjusted real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna adjust this display capture just a bit. Y'all can see the entire presentation. But I'm gonna do the same thing essentially that we did last time. Here's the presentation. This one we did July 27th. So we're going up after we have this next one. It's gonna be about a month and a half later. So how we did it. This was the form, same thing. And then right here, did you like incursions? Raw data going through the yes and no's, including the overall percentage of who. And I'm really curious, did this change? Is it still 58% of the people didn't enjoy incursions at all? Or has it changed and gotten better based on changes? I'm curious. Then we went over this. What were the biggest complaints? PvP brackets, needing tighter PvP brackets. There it is right there. This is Miss Laura right here. Just to show, like, I'm not here to ignore that. I'm not. Just because Rev's okay with it doesn't mean it's okay. It means that's Rev's opinion, and Rev enjoys the game more because of his opinion. But that doesn't mean I'm the only opinion. This is level 25 through 30 players and level 31 through 34s. And you can see that it was the third biggest feedback in terms of negative feedback. So this is the type of stuff that I want to provide. This is what I want to send them. And hopefully it results in changes. And we saw that it did to an extent with the runs that we've had so far. You've seen changes. I mean, we've had multiple changes to the event. So hopefully that's what happens, y'all. Check it out. And please, please, please participate, because if we don't get these participation, then they're not going to run another one. Like, as in, they're not going to listen to us. They're not going to change more things, etc. So, but for me, the past two incursions were far superior to the first incursion. Like, the first incursion was just bad for me. I didn't really enjoy it. I didn't think it was great. I think it had potential. Second and third were definite improvements, but it's not where I want it to be. Like, incursion still has many things that I think needs to get better. But I do think it's getting better, but I'm, again, very curious. John says, at least they fixed the lack of commas and scoring. They did. You can actually understand the scoring in incursions now, which is wild. Like, that's one of those things that, like, did you really need to tell them that that needed to be done? It feels like you shouldn't have had to, but I'm glad that it got fixed. Paul said, only issue I had was horrible lag. So here's what you would do, Paul. You would say, hey, your level range, yes, I enjoyed incursions, but here's my feedback. Here's why lag was bad. Here's when it was bad. Specify that, like, for me, lag was worse when we were having a massive raid and the first hour and last hour of incursions. It was really, really bad. Hardmark says, have they said, are they permanent or any chance they go away altogether? There's basically no chance that incursions go away. Let's put that out there. Like, there's basically no shot. And I'm not trying to be negative Nancy here for those who just hate incursions. The only real thing that those players can hope to have is more events added in to make it more inclusive to more people. But incursions is just not going away. It would take tremendous failure over months for incursions to just kind of get washed. What's the best Swarm Armada crew? 5'6" Jaylah. 5'6" Jaylah. If you don't have those, then just run a normal Armada run. Are y'all actually doing the Swarm Armadas? Because Rev's not. Rev's not doing the Swarm Armadas. Aardvark says that's a bummer. Here's the thing, Aardvark. Participation for incursions, every incursion has been better than normal. Like, your active daily participation versus incursions is a lot more activity. So they see that as a positive. And overall feedback is mixed, but it seems to be getting better. So that's the thing. It's just, I will respect that there always are going to be those who don't like it, and that is fine. And I want to find a way to give them something to do. Personally, you know, I think it was great that there was events to run if you weren't doing incursions. Like, you could just go do your faction hunt and avoid people, because sure, people are looking at all these different systems, but I wasn't going around hunting somebody who was faction hunting. I needed more than one random ship with Pipe Row Chin on it. So just wasted 12,000 Swarm Armada points. Why, Joseph? Oh boy, we got spammers here. Oh man. Love incursions as it allows me to let out your inner rating Rev. Well, that I'm happy about. No Apex, you'll miss the badge again. Kevin, I did complain to them that, look, if you're going to scrap an event, do not scrap Apex. It is way too important to the player base, and it's the only way to source certain items. So we've got to make sure that that is running consistently on the schedule. This already asked, why does the donation VP count officer ship XP, but the SMS does not? I don't know. I don't know. That one I don't have an answer to. David says this was better than the last. Damage versus win-loss, easier to complete. More and different events will make it interesting, and others besides rating. So David, please, if you haven't, fill out the form. Fill out the form and put that in the written boxes. And if y'all remember last time, we went through individual answers and we tracked them. And we went through that process. line by line. And it was time consuming, but I think it was so worth it to get y'all's true feelings and true opinion on how it went. So I want to do that again. Go check out spam site. Yes, Tomb World. Hey, man, bots are a problem. No, bots are a problem. Labor Day events. Let me check my Labor Day events today. The Swarm Modded doesn't need to be joined, but okay, I'll join him. I'm not probably doing this. I'm not doing that at all, actually. It's not worth wasting rare Armada Directive. Combination event, though, I will do for some Jaylah shards. And recruit Jaylah. Oh, Rev might have to go. Oh, never mind. No Jaylah in that because, of course, why would there be Jaylah? Let me check the dev chat real quick because that's silly. Hold on. I'm actually going to send this to the devs. Hold on. I think it's already been posted, but let me just make sure. Let me just make sure. Snipping tool. I see y'all, chat. I'm not ignoring y'all, I promise. Okay. All right, it has been submitted. Okay, submitted it is. Sorry about that, y'all. Hey, Emperor Hot Dog. Is audio cutting out? It shouldn't be cutting out at all. It's fine on my side. Absolutely A-okay. Anyone else running the game on Android? I mean, I played on Android. Not currently, I'm on the PC client. At ISO mining and sealing event, that's fun. That would give more chances for OPC. And Rev obviously likes OPC. Obviously, I like OPC. The rewards are spinning. Yeah, so some of the rewards are spinning. The Swarm Mana's SLB rewards are spinning. What else we got here? You play both PC and Android? I play my Android when I'm like trying to sleep or something, but not sleeping, obviously. Thank you, Tough Cow. Don't put it in Discord though. I want them to watch the video tomorrow, so don't put it in the Discord because at the end of the day, I still need them to watch the video. So kill that. It's we're just rewarding those people who come to the live stream first. The people who come to the live streams get early access. That's something that they get. So if y'all want to help participate, y'all are going to be the first ones and the first responses that I'm going to get to read through. So definitely want everybody to respond. Like 80 people have done it so far, and honestly, the results are pretty interesting so far. Wow. Okay. There's a lot more yeses than I expected. Okay. It's I'm curious how this plays out because there's not near enough people to compare it to the last time. But yeah. Some USS Terror Shards would have been a good payout here. Well, look, here's the thing. We're always gonna be able to argue what would have been a good payout, right? Like, is there ever gonna come a time where we're like, nah, I don't want more. So, but I do think that leaderboards that say recruit this officer should include that officer. I do think that should be the case. Ops 23 with Disco, Franklin, DeVore. What's the next ship in the event store? Edward, that's going to be the Vidar at level 25. The Vidar at level 25. Pitchfork at the ready. Nice. Next arc on Tuesday. Yeah, the next arc starts this upcoming Tuesday. This upcoming Tuesday, you have your brand new arc. So you're 2 days away. Okay, getting points for earning Jaylah shards is not the same as a leaderboard based around recruit Jaylah. We both know that recruiting officer leaderboards involves getting that officer. It's how it always is. It's how it always is. Feels like EU servers are screwed again. Why on earth run Faction Hunt to clash with Incursions when we could have had Apex? I don't know. I don't actually have a problem with, I really don't have a problem with Faction Hunt running during Incursions. I don't. Faction Hunt is always an optional event. And I say it all the time. More events that you can do is better than not enough events. A full calendar is better than a light calendar. Yeah, I'm aware, Chris. I'm aware there's an ultra recruit for Jaylah. I'm not wasting my credits on it. You're always happy with Officer XP and Faction Crest? Yeah, I'm not saying that don't do Faction Hunt, but what I'm saying is that don't look at every event that comes out as a must complete. You don't have to complete it. It's optional. It's extra. I'd rather have a bunch of options than to have no options. That's what I'm saying. I mean, so, and by the way, yes, there's a gotcha specifically for Jaylah here, and you do have a chance of full pull. It's that really small chance. But I mean, I've got some shards. I'll blow some right here with y'all. Shot serve 14 in Gonzalez. So I got 3 Eurydice, an Avix, 2 Carol Marcus, a Stan who is maxed, Kang, Jordy, and that's all for that one. Let's just go ahead and open them all up, and no full pulls. No full pulls. And I'll do one more just because I love y'all. One more. Thank you, Cosmo. I appreciate it. Your server had again easy incursion with just one event, hostile hunt running. Curious why? So curious why, McGregson. It's just you have 3 different regions and you have a normal schedule of events. So almost got Eurydice to the next tier. Not that I'm going to use that. And then there's 5 Jaylah shards. So sadly, no max Jaylah for me. No full pull of Jaylah for me. Am going to pull these though, because these will count. Be nice if Terror and Defender skins were more achievable. I agree, HSF. I actually had a discussion with upcoming Arc runners about that and how one of the biggest complaints from players is the inability to source those skins because they've been around a long time. Even if it's just for vanity's sake, like even if it's just to see them and know that they look good, people want them. So am pushing on that. I really am trying to lean heavy into that aspect. But again, it's difficult to get them to make changes on what they think should be available. Yeah, I'm pulling my faction recruits. It counts to your recruit Jaylah. You don't save up your stuff for these type of events? Thank you, Walter. I appreciate you. I need everybody to fill out the survey as possible. Last time we got 4,600. I'm shooting for 5,000 people. I'm going to need y'all's help. Tomorrow, I have a video. We'll drop 8 in the morning. I'm going to go over these details. I'm going to need y'all's help to spread the word. Oh, yeah, Joseph. Yeah, that I'm aware of. But don't worry, I've still got a Federation. I got a few Federation, but then I've also still got my Romulan. Still got 61,000 Rom. So I'm emptying out my Klingon. I want to see where I'm at on the leaderboard. Also, I really need to max Gorkon. Gorkon, I should have had max by level 39. I should have had that max by level 39. Richard, I bet. Yeah, everybody loves to show off their full pulls that everybody gets. Projectiles fly above once you unlock research. You don't need to refit each site. Yeah, correct. Boom. I've said that a lot over the past few weeks. So you just need to unlock them. They're basically research. And that put me at rank 16. That put me up at rank 16 pulling those. Sure can, Gonzalez. Sure can, Gonzalez. Are faction credits changing? How we're able to spend upgrading the store? I'm not allowed to tell y'all what all is changing, but faction officer sourcing is getting an improvement. I can't tell you the details of that, but faction officer sourcing is getting an improvement here very soon. very soon. Lure says, remove humping dead bases as points. This did get brought up in the last time. And if you do the feedback form, include that and it'll get put into this time as well. So, question about weekend outside of BP is a bit misleading since we still had to complete a flash pass. No, you didn't, Dale. Gosh, Dale, how can I get you and everybody else to understand this? You do not have to complete everything. The flash pass is meant to be extra. It's extra, man. It's extra. Y'all gotta quit with this fear of missing out. Stop letting FOMO control you in the game. You do not have to do everything. You do not have to do everything. The flash pass only got here because people said they wanted the flash pass more often. You've got to stop letting this game control you. You do not have to do everything. You don't. As a free-to-play, we have to do everything to grow. No, you don't, Johnny. What's here? Grow for what? So you can get to level 60? It's not even possible for you to get to level 60. You literally cannot get there as a free-to-play. It's not possible. Stop. Be the best player at your level. Stop trying to be level 60. You literally can't do it as a free-to-play player. It's not possible right now. You can't. So what's the point? Be the best you can be. Y'all gotta, because look, it's just gonna burn you out. The game's gonna burn you out if you keep letting it do that. I'm trying to help you game. Flash pass is bonus. You know, faction hunt, that's extra. Like, they don't, like when they're doing these, they're not expecting the whole game to be doing this all the time. It's an optional thing. You know what those ships, those level 60s have? Look, right now, it's impossible for a free-to-play to get level 6. It's not possible to get there. So, the game starts needing you to have rare 5-star that you can't get. So, currently not even possible. Possible to take a no, Brian, it's literally not possible to get to level 60 right now. Like, I'm not speaking like dramatically or anything. Like, it's literally not possible because it starts requiring rares at 53 that you can't get. You have to buy to get there. Now, the highest free to play in the game is only like level 47 anyway, and they've been playing for 4 years. It's not like they're even close, but it's literally impossible to get past a certain level range right now because they don't give you access to materials needed. It's locked. I'm only level 22 and been playing this game for 2 years. Fair. Hey, don't care about leveling up, just level up. Yeah, I mean, have fun where you're at. Like, this game will definitely try to just suck you in and force you to think that you have to do everything, but you don't. Like, you can set your own standard. You can set your own growth arc. Yeah, optional. Sculpa know about the issue of missing officer flashpoints caused by lag of event reset. Honestly don't know. I texted Eco this morning and no response. Weekends are difficult. Weekends are very difficult to get people to respond. So. By the way, if y'all are here, that is the new form to the survey. We got 130 people have responded so far, and the answers are very interesting. The answers are very interesting. Like, I'm not going to give it away, but 135 people. I'll be very curious to see how this compares to the original. But like, just glancing at it right now, 135. There is less people in the 40s so far who enjoyed it, but the people who enjoyed it level 35 through 39 has drastically increased percentage-wise. I'm just very curious to see if these numbers hold. Obviously, 135 is a lot less than 4,600 people, but I'm just be very curious to compare these back and forth. For the highest free to play, is their goal ops 50 or 51? I'd have to ask them. I haven't actually asked them their goals in 2 months, probably. But going from 49 to 50 as a free to play will take at least a year. So going from 49 to 50 as a free to play will take about a year. So We do video where you share aggregate results to us. That seems interesting to see how everyone applied. So Phil, yeah, I mean, I will compare before and after when I do a video. So what I'll do is I'll actually do the presentation with them first, and then after the presentation, I'll share with y'all the results. But obviously it's gonna be a lot of work for the content creators to pour through all this data over the next week and then plan another feedback run with the dev team, go throughout the meeting, talk to them about what went well, what didn't. And I'm also curious, I didn't even look at this. What are the results so far of the other questions we got asked? Oh, wow. Overwhelmingly, yes, for running on weekend and outside of the normal battle pass. Overwhelming yes for the PvP events being damage based, and overwhelming yes on the change to the attack timers. Wow. Wow. Interesting results so far. I can't wait to see them get deeper, but yeah. Rev, ever feel like Scopely's own customer satisfaction research is something they should pay you for? Matt, I'll be honest, man. I've given up on getting paid by a game company. And the more content creators I've met and talked to, that just doesn't happen. Content creators don't get paid. Like, I have a friend who has several 100,000 followers on YouTube, and he makes Madden content. EA doesn't pay him a dime. Content creators don't get paid from the games they cover. It doesn't happen. You can get paid to promote a game, like from marketing, but that's usually not if you're already covering the game. That's like if you have a different fan base and they're trying to bring you in. I have a friend on my server who says STFC helped him quit smoking. He spends so much money on the game, he can't afford cigarettes. I'm not sure how to feel about that one, but I'm very happy that they've overcome their addiction. Like, I'm honestly not sure how to feel about that, but I'm very happy they overcame their addiction. Like, I'm very happy for them. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know if that's good or not, but I'm happy for them. I'm happy for them. Confusion. Mixed feelings. Mixed feelings. Submit a response. Thank you so much, John. Or the company hires you to showcase their game, then you'll get paid. Yeah, and I've done, but even then, the company's not hiring you. That comes through marketing companies. That's through like WeHype or Stream Elements or something like that. I've never had a company, a game itself, reach out and say, hey, we want you to promote this product. Maybe I'm just not big enough. Diablo Immortal marketing should pay you. I mean, hey, look, I'm a man trying to raise 3 kids. I think everybody should pay me, but I'm going to continue to be the man of the people. I want to be the content creator for the players. So, come on, big man, with all due respect of your work that you do amazingly, please on the subject of disadvantage at PvP level. I'll be honest, truth, I don't see it as a problem. I've said this a lot. Like every other game in this platform, mobile games like this have no PvP bracket at all. Eve Echoes doesn't, Second Galaxy doesn't, Infinite Galaxy doesn't. There is no PvP bracket. It's very unique to Star Trek Fleet Command. And you don't lose ships permanently. Your ship blows up in Eve Echoes, gone forever. Go buy another one. Gone. You're not getting it back. Star Trek Fleet Command, repair. You know, big boys come and hit your base, shield. They can't even steal the most important resources in the game. Personally, I do not see the reason to be getting upset about PvP brackets. That's just my personal take. Everything in this game is protected. Every single thing you have in this game is protected. So I don't care. Storm Armada events giving Terra shards, cool. I'll be honest, I don't care, but cool. If a CC makes content for a specific game and doesn't really stray outside that, they probably aren't bringing in a lot of new players, just catering to existing ones. Correct, Rogue, and that's how marketing sees it, which is why marketing doesn't pay them. Doesn't matter what other games do, the community in this game is asking for it in other games. Surreal. It's not going to happen, man. It's not. I mean, that's not, the game doesn't want that either. Because here's the problem with the game. From the game's perspective, if you make the brackets, let's just say you made them plus and up and down 5. The high level players have nobody to play with. So then the high level players leave. And when the high level players and the spinners leave, then the game dies. The game goes away. So then everybody who wanted better PvP brackets now has nobody to play with either because the game's gone. Can you dress server 8 over server 15? Have you seen the screenshot of the score? I don't know if you set a record. I don't, but I have seen the screenshot. Dave, you just have to wait till Tuesday to figure that one out. Scopely isn't going to change things they see as intended design. I mean, yeah, they've already adjusted the PvP brackets once, and they made it to where as you are a newer player, you can't get hit. Like you get worked into the PvP. It's like when I was level 16, level 24s can come smack my base and one-shot me, and they used to all the time. No big deal. Now it's if you're level 16, the highest I can hit you is level 18. So. You like the brackets? It's level 34. I could get past level 53s. They couldn't hit me protecting bases from being rated. I mean, I always take advantage of those high level players. I mean, if there's a big whale in my way, I spam him with Rialta. I can now, sting him with the Manus. Got a lot of ways to fight back now that when the game first came out, I just got beat. Steven, like I said, PvP is not bullying. PvP is not bullying. It's a video game. It's not bullying. I will not stand up in any court of law anywhere. It's not bullying. This game is much less damaging from PvP attacks than another game I played, No Shield, and they can be 30 levels ahead and raid you and destroy millions of troops that have to be healed or made back up. Yeah, exactly. Look, I realize that getting hit by a player that you can't realistically hurt is annoying, but this game does not make it to where those people can ruin your game. Like, they can't do anything to you besides annoy you. At the end of the day, you just repair. At the end of the day, just shield, just relocate. I mean, this game doesn't make it to where any level of spender can make you stop playing. Jeff says, I was out of town all Friday and in Incursions 2 shards short of unlocking Uno. Wow, I'm so sorry. At least you're that close. Look, Rev's not close at all. Look at me. I am 16 shards away from unlocking Uno. 16. Harrison says there's a solution. Not enough players at higher brackets, but it's not a good solution before server relocation. Exactly. Not a good solution. You said it yourself, Harrison. That's why it will never happen. That's not a good solution. So it's the one thing I've learned with working with game companies is I've worked with NetEase, which is, Eveco. I've obviously worked for Scopely, Star Trek Fleet. I've worked with a couple others. A lot of things can be done, but will they be done? No, because you have to cater to all your players. About base raids. And see, that's what I actually like. The people that I made the loot off of in Incursions? I scored personally like 70 billion raid points in my leaderboard because I was raiding a level 56 who had over 1 trillion in resources. As a level 42, I was getting to raid level 56. So if y'all see the top of your screen, I'm almost at 400 billion par steel and I'm almost at 7 billion trip. That's for me raiding high level players. That's for me rating high-level players. Are they going to update the bonus refineries? Rogers, I'm actually waiting on that. I'm actually waiting on a response to that. But they said it was going to be discussed, but nothing as of yet on that happening. I'm also pushing for a ship bonus refinery, a ship parts bonus refinery. Some says, well, I do understand what you said about brackets. However, we were having a nice PvP fight of 39s and 40 through 49 going on for a while. Well, 54 dropped in and PvP stopped. Does that encourage PvP? It should. Why would you run away scared? Smash him with the Rialtas and Orion Corvettes. He can't do anything. Sting him with a Mantis and a Newton can easily destroy him. Why run away? It doesn't stop me. People with a Dededrix and Enterprise D come smack my base one time. You know what I do? Repair, relocate to get out of their way, and either run distraction or go back and PvP who I was PvP. Dale, I'm not sure what you're asking. You made a 53 shield and walk away from a raid defense by smashing Rialto in his base? Yeah, look, if you run Rom, Giorgio on a Rialta and they don't have Crass, then you're going to be causing them tens of millions in repairs just from that Rialta hit because you start burning that one round. I mean, there are ways to fight against them. Is it true during incursions that even if I'm a low-level system with my shield up, if I have a ship out, my base can be hit? No. There were a few individual players who had shield errors, but no, if you were in a low-level system with a shield up, you could not be raided. There's a lot of people doing hostile grinding right now. Who's the 56 I was raiding? I don't even know if I still have the logs. I think they were 56. I think I've already gone past all the logs because I haven't seen it yet. But I do still have a screenshot of the pull. My biggest pull was right at 600 million. I was pulling 600 million resources at a time here. Let me pull up the screenshot. They were, oh, I don't have that screenshot. But yeah, my biggest pull was 550 million. That was my biggest pull. Boop. This was my biggest pull. This is what I was pulling when we were hitting this whale. Here you go. Helps if I put it on the screen. Helps if I put it on the screen. So this is the biggest one that I was pulling during my Incursions run. $17 billion. I wish I could get a 17 billion per pull, but sadly, not that good yet. Not that good yet. My KD ratio is in the tank, but funny to watch a higher level run knowing the repair costs are more than yours. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's still there, but Casey, who's a really fun player on the server that we were fighting, he's level 53. Let's see if I still have him. But he would hit my base. Yeah, so he would destroy my base, but I took his Corvus down to like 5%. He literally had a Tritanium repair bill in the billions, and mine was I think total, because I didn't have any 4-star ships in my dock. I was spending like 9 million Tritanium to repair. He was spending multiple billions to repair after he was hitting. So it was worth it. It was worth it. You need 4,000 broken rods to make one rod, Dale. Your Incursions, my tier 4 amalgam was rating 4 trillion base for 1.2 billion a pull. That's great, Skippy. That's fantastic. My amalgam is just a shy bit short. It's a little bit short of going to tier 6. And I really want to get it there. Really want to get there. Tomorrow I'll make another pull of my amalgam and hopefully it reaches tier 6. I'd like to definitely be tier 6 by the next Incursion. But the next lockbox is the worst rewards this month. Now that you have 4K, I don't know what the box looks like coming up. To be honest with you, I don't know what it looks like. So I don't know what it looks like. Get 2 amalgams. There's nothing wrong with 2 amalgams, but I don't have the time to do both. So I'm barely struggling with 6 docks I got now. Daniel, the next arc starts this upcoming Tuesday, so you are like 46 hours away. You said you put the note in the dev chat about recruit Jaylah not giving any Jaylah shards? Yes. And response? None. Yeah. No. I actually got I got a dev sticking their tongue out at me. So, doesn't look like a change is happening. Doesn't look like a change is happening. I would say odds of change are low. Excited for the next arc? I'm excited for Deep Space Nine. I'm very excited for Deep Space Nine. So, like, I think after Deep Space Nine as a whole is done, if all the ideas I've seen, like the big game-changing stuff over the course of the next few months happens, I think it's gonna be very good. Very good. Very nice, Giovanni. I got a few, but I hate paying the increased cost for that. Yeah. Swarm Armada pack? No, thank you. Almost feel like it's a weaker version of the Galactic Armada pack. Is the Galactic Armada pack still around? If I got a screenshot of the Galactic Armada pack, I'll have to Google it. I'll have to screenshot the Galactic Armada pack. Let me see if I can find it in my Discord. Galactic Armada pack. Okay. So it is slightly different from the Galactic Armada pack. I'll put it on the screen. And I guess value-wise, we can debate whether this is better or worse. So obviously, for those that don't know, for Swarm Modders, you use rare directives. Use rare directives for Swarm Modders. The Galactic Armada pack is $100, and it comes with, keep in mind, level matters. So I'm just going to show you the this part. So the Galactic Armada pack comes with double the amount of epics, but 4 less rare directives, and 2 more runs of regular. That's the Galactic Armada pack, and this is the Swarmada pack. The Swarmada one, a little bit more focused on swarms, but personal Galactic Armada pack is still better value. All the other stuff in the background should be based on your level bracket and what server you're on. So anyway, that's the Galactic Armada pack, and you can compare. I think Galactic is better because those epics could definitely result in a better turn-in for you. Yeah, swarms do take less, Joseph. You're right. But swarms give terrible payouts, and the only person who really benefits from a Swarmada is the leader, because the leader of a Swarmada has a small chance of getting Jaylah shards. But the rest of the Swarmada is trash. It's a waste. It's a waste. To me. That's why I don't run Swarmadas. I'm wasting directives, in my opinion, if I run Swarmadas. I feel like I'm wasting directives if I run a Swarmada, because I'm not getting the Armada credits and everything. It doesn't. And I guess if you're out there, yes, you do have a 10 to 15% chance as the leader of getting Jaylah shards. But is that worth paying for? Like, think about it. Is 5 Jaylah shards really worth 100 rare directives? To me, no. To me, no. Jay Hotsko? Jay Hotsko? I'm not sure I pronounced your name, so I'm sorry. I understand the PvP bracketing. Can you comment on the daily SLB brackets? I've been wondering why it extends 28 to 40. So the dailies, honestly, they haven't been updated in a long time. And that's the answer. The truth is they need to be updated. They need to be updated. Just like I was talking about yesterday's Swarm event, this one that we just had. It'd be great if that became the new standard payout for Swarm Sunday. Be great if that was the new standard payout for Swarm Sunday. But the truth is, just for the daily stuff, they have not been updated in a long time. The rewards aren't really updated, and I don't really think that personally it's worth it. It just depends on what level you're at. But the leaderboards I always stay away from. I do want to point out the Swarm and Cozy. This should be the new updated payout for Swarm Sundays. This should be the new updated payout for Swarm Sundays. This is good. And Neo Yummy says, I don't understand why Jaylah shards are not in the reward for Swarm Sunday. So I can give you the reason why they're not in there. That's not going to be good enough in terms of, because your response is going to be, well, then update it. But the answer is Jaylah didn't exist yet when they did that. Jaylah was not in the game yet when they released Swarm Modders. So that's why. Now, can they have updated that and added her in? Sure. But the answer of why she's not in there is because she wasn't released. Congrats, Dino, on your 4 Jaylah shards. I'm happy you're happy. Get this in. Now, I will say, you know, Swarm is easy to complete with the Franklin A, and I do appreciate that they made the grind easier. But... Hey, Blue Dog Graphics, how you doing, man? Y'all, if y'all haven't checked out Blue Dog Graphics, y'all need to go check out what they do. And I don't remember, but did you see in the captain's quarters where I posted the brief video of it up on the wall? I have it up on the wall now, Blue Dog. I haven't made the house tour video, but obviously it's very prominent up there. But it is up, and I think it looks marvelous. We shared it in our captain's quarters. Do you think it is still worth trying to max Jaylah now that the Spike Crew is out? So for Swarm grinding, I use Strange New World Pike, Strange New World Spock, Jaylah. So yes. Hank's Corner, Franklin A becomes available at level 35. Level 35, you get the Franklin A. I get why she isn't part of Storm Sunday, but why isn't she part of Labor Day events if she's on the artwork? Now, Joshua, I agree with you, and that's something that I have passed up. And I think the moderators of the official Discord did as well. That's just Scopey being Scopey. You know how they are. You know how they be. He's about 70,000 credits. I got full pulls of Eurydice, Mitchell, Jordy, and Worf. Wow, Daniel. That's nice, man. That's nice. I don't think I'm going to go heavy on that. But, and yeah, Dale, I appreciate everybody being here. If you're here, smash like button. We'll keep sharing the form out. It'd be nice if we got 400 people who responded to the Incursions feedback that we have going on right now. I'm really curious to see, just all you got to do is go into it one time and you're set. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the response. Really looking forward to the response, seeing overall how it goes. Yes, no, and did you enjoy it? And really honestly curious, did lower levels have a better experience this time around? So very curious about that as well. I mean, so far we've had 202 people have done the survey so far. 202. Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate that. Level 29, much better experience. Liam, thank you so much. I'm assuming that you already did the survey. If not, please, please, please fill in the form. I will have a video that drops tomorrow morning going into more detail about it, but if you haven't already, please do the form. Thank you so much, Captain Jedi. As always, I try to give the people who come to live streams like, it's kind of like your incentive. It's your reward for being here and being lovely and being loyal. So I appreciate y'all. Because normally we'll do stuff like this on the Twitch channel, because I do stream on Twitch twice as much as I stream here on YouTube. But I want the people who are dedicated and are here to get a little bit extra, you know? Because y'all are better than all the others. Wait, today's Sunday. Please don't let me forget Anomalous Phenomenon, y'all. What's up, Citron? I actually was just about to head home, so I appreciate the ride. Appreciate the ride. I was literally just about to head home. They did all of that for basically nothing. More power to you. Thank you, Nelson. I appreciate that. New arc hints. I have dropped multiple hints so far on Twitch. I think that they have put the hint in the captain's quarters in my Discord, and then I will have a hint in tomorrow's video. So if you listen to if y'all go back to the episode I did with Eco and DJ that we put on YouTube, what, Wednesday? There was 3 or 4 hints in that. Of course it is Fenris, and it's great. When do we have permission to share your links in the form of on Discord? So Phil, I know some people are probably doing it already, but I really need people to see the video tomorrow. So I'm gonna have the video launch at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time tomorrow. And from then, share it out heavy. But I really need people to see the video so I can explain everything, and then we'll go from there. Thank you so much, Booper. I appreciate it. Yes, Harrison, this upcoming Tuesday, new arc is launching. Brand new arc is launching this upcoming Tuesday. We will count DJ's info as a hint as much as it hears what's happening. Yeah, DJ's, now I slipped in 2 hints, but my hints were very subtle. I gave 2 hints that were subtle. DJ just full on said, hey, faction officers are getting updated. So, which is true. And I'm very happy to have been able to provide some feedback in that before it happened. But I was like, gosh, dang, DJ, just go ahead and spill the whole beans. Whatever. So. Phil preferably, but at the end of the day, I realize not everybody is going to watch the YouTube video. So, but selfishly, I do prefer people to watch the YouTube video. Is this arc the beginning of Deep Space Nine? Yes, Nelson. Yes, it is. All right, let me get my research to start up real quick, y'all. That's a good one that I should have done a while ago, but I've been focusing on Impulse, which is draining me dry. Not even the good kind. I need more. Oh my goodness, I'm so broke. How about an independent officer sourcing update? We do need that. Don't worry, many things that I present to them at all times. I'm always bringing up stuff like that. I will say this, that for a long time, I ignored a lot of different combat researches for station defense and everything. And I'm now investing in station defenses because of Incursions. Like, I'm actually doing it now because I see a point. Like, I do live base defense during Incursions. So I'm actually starting to go back and do those researches that I never used to do. Need more TOS. I know all you kids out there are young to understand how amazing it was on TV. Dark Paladin, we did have a TOS themed arc. It was close to 2 years ago now. And I'm sure we'll have more original series stuff. But right now focuses a lot of the newer stuff. And then also going back, we already did TNG. Now we're doing Deep Space Nine. We just had Strange New Worlds. We had Lower Decks. So we haven't done Picard yet. We haven't done Prodigy yet. And also Voyager and Enterprise still are out there. Skippy, I need to do my mantis farming today. But yeah. January 2020. Wow, it has been 2.5 years, Andy. Gosh, I didn't realize it'd been that long. Are you sure? I think it was 2021. January 2020 was the Borg. January 2020 was the Borg, I think. Wrath of Khan is the greatest Star Trek movie of all time and arguably one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. Yeah, 2021. Yeah, thank you, Andy. I thought so. I mean, we have been doing battle passes since January 2022, and the Borg was the first. But Too Young isn't an argument. They can be found on the... I've watched the original series. I will admit it's a bit campy, but it's solid. It's solid. It's been a long road, getting from there to here. Been a long time. Sorry. Oh, Sean, no, I completely understand it wasn't campy in 1966. But keep in mind that that's like, 25 years before I was born. So, of course, me in 2022 thinks it's campy. And maybe my kids will look at, the Next Generation and Enterprise and stuff and be like, Dad, this is crappy camp. I'm like, all right, well, maybe you're right. So, like, there are just some, the original series episodes I can't even watch. It's like, oh my God. Then there's some that are absolutely fantastic. Yeah, first interracial kiss on US TV. It was a big deal. I get that. I'm not disrespecting TOS. I'm just saying that it's easier to appreciate it when that's part of what you grew up with. Kind of like I'm obsessed with the Lord of the Rings movies. Fellowship, Two Towers, Return, Extended Edition, obsessed. I think it's aged beautifully. Not many 18-year-olds going around talking about how great the Lord of the Rings movies are. You saw the first episodes of Rings of Power? Yes, but no spoilers. No spoilers. Let's not talk about it yet. Argar Worf at the helm of the Defiant, unstoppable? Maybe. Now, I have watched the original Battlestar Galactica, and it was good. I'll tell you what wasn't good. Battlestar Galactica 1980. That was really bad. That was really bad. Battlestar Galactica 1980 was terrible. But I enjoy the original Battlestar Galactica. TV like historical figures should be viewed with the lens of the time in which they existed, not today, in my opinion. I don't agree with that, Phil. I don't, personally. But I respect you for believing and following that. Keep in mind, that was the same era that spawned the Star Wars Christmas special. The 80s was a really rough time for a lot of sci-fi, put it that way. If The Wrath of Khan had not come out in the 80s, I'd probably say that most 80s sci-fi was trash, but then you also have a couple of other good things like Terminator and and stuff like that. So I guess it wasn't bad, but some big name sci-fis were some big whiffs. So Back to the Future is overrated. I'm not a huge Back to the Future fan. I think it's overrated. There was some great anime and cartoons from the 80s, though. Quantum Leap is coming back this fall. Yeah. Empire, Return of the Jedi were 80s. I still really consider that, like, I feel like that's all one thing from the 70s, but fair enough. Terminator, Blade Runner, Alien, Back to the Future, E.T. Of all the ones you just named, only 3 of those are good movies to me. Terminator's a good movie. Blade Runner, which I watched for the first time 3 weeks ago, and Alien. E.T., stupid, overrated. Back to the Future, very meh to me. I don't really see the allure. Cool, whatever. But yeah. Yeah, Geeky, I love Stargate SG-1. I love SG-1. One day I'd like to find time to ask you. I appreciate hearing the why behind viewpoints that disagree with mine. Helps expand my worldview. Well, Phil, I'll just keep it pretty short and simple. I don't think that time should absolve transgressions. Simple as that. So if something is campy, then it's still campy. Like, I shouldn't be forced to change my life experience to enjoy something. I can understand that it was good for its era, and I can be cognizant of that. That doesn't mean I have to enjoy it or want to watch it. And taking it to the grander scope, you know, let's just say American history, something was extremely racist. No, that person should not be celebrated even for the good things they did for being a bad person. And yeah, that's using a modern moral scope on what it was back then. But the problem with that argument is, like, you take, and this is not to get political. If y'all get political, we'll shut this stuff down. I'm just using this as my example of my reasoning. But you look at, say, racism and slavery in the US. Basically, the entire modern world had already outlawed it and agreed that this was bad. We shouldn't have been doing that. You know, it's the whole reason that France took a long time to join the Revolutionary War. So, yeah, I don't think that we use that argument. Right is right and wrong is wrong. But that's just how I see things. Back to the Future is one of the 3 movies we had in the boys' home I grew up in and watched it often. Like, I've seen it. I'm not saying Back to the Future is bad, but, like, I don't see it as getting... It's not this greatest movie of all time. Like, I'll never pop in Back to the Future when I'm showing people, oh, dude, let's go watch this cool old sci-fi movie. But I'll definitely pop in Wrath of Khan. I'll definitely pop in Terminator. I love the Alien movies. I do like that Back to the Future, was it Back to the Future 2 or 3, referenced my Chicago Cubs winning the World Series. That was nice. Yeah, of course, Phil. I'm a strong believer in it being possible to agree to disagree and share different paradigms, but you can still be very passionate about what you believe. Stargate Universe was halfway into season 1, the best SG show. Stargate Universe was good, but Stargate started running into the same problem that Star Trek ran into. When something runs for so long, it just naturally starts to lose steam and interest because new people struggle to get into it because it's been active for so long, and they're like, well, the logic is basic. Well, I didn't watch this, so why should I watch this? So, hey, John, good to see you. Can you give a quick hot take on Barclay as a playable character? He's not worth going after. If you get him over time, cool, but he doesn't really provide anything to your game that's important. I mean, if you get him, cool. He's not good enough to focus on. You watched 1999 Space Odyssey. It's considered one of the best movies ever made. I've never watched that, honestly. John, happy to hear it. Make sure that you go fill out the form. We'll have a video out on it tomorrow. Lots of hot takes? Just takes. Just a content creator. Keep in mind that, and this isn't meant as an insult, I am younger than most people here. I am younger than most people in this chat. So my experience and my lens that I view things from is going to be very different. Many of you are old enough to be my parents, which, please be my parents. I had a horrible living situation growing up. So. I think it's funny they're updating officers right after they put out the strike team crew. It's one of the only times I've ever done that, Laura. And that's updating Himmer. But there's a reason they were willing to do it with Himmer. They weren't really doing it with others. So. I am 39 on August 29th, so not that old. All right, Dark. That technically means that you're a Gen Xer, I think. A Gen Xer. So still a different generation. Meaning, you actually experienced the 80s. Like, you can actually talk about things that happened in the 80s. I can't. I can talk about the 90s. Early 2000s. 39. That's right on the cusp. Gen X is like up to 1981, right? Gen X is like 1965 to 1981, right? Yeah, 1980. 1980. So, I mean, if that individual is 39, they're right on that cusp. So, they're right on that cusp. They're like an ex-millennial. It's like right there. Right there. It's a zennial. Exactly, Dale. Exactly. You know when you've grown old, when your childhood is on display in a museum? There you go. Miami Vice had the best intro ever. Never seen Miami Vice. I've never seen Knight Rider. Like, I know about the car and everything, but I've never watched Knight Rider. What happened to Generation Z? They're in the 90s. They just don't really play this game. So, I think half the people who are on my stream team, Team RD on Twitch, are Gen Z. You know you've grown old when they start doing some retro shows about your childhood? Nice. There you go. Ugh. Yeah, I've never seen Knight Rider. I mean, I never watched the original Transformer cartoon. Yeah, I did watch Firefly. Firefly came out when I was like 12 years old, 11 years old, something like that. Yeah, I watched Cowboy Bebop. Oh, did I move it? I had the hat sitting right here. I don't know where it is. I don't know. But, I mean, yes, I have 2 Cowboy Bebop hats. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. Buck Rogers, never seen it. Never seen Buck Rogers in like the 57th century or whatever. Babylon, never watched Babylon 5. I heard that there's potentially a Babylon 5 reboot happening. Word is on the street there's a Babylon 5 reboot happening. But I've never watched Babylon 5. And I'll be honest with y'all, I tried to watch Babylon 5 and it was just so bad graphically. Like, you could tell that their budget was $15 and a box of donuts. It's so bad. And cool, y'all can judge me. 400 people watching right now. Judge away. I struggle to watch your show if it looks terrible. Now, the acting and everything could be great. Could be great. But Babylon 5 looks awful. It just looks ungodly bad. Yeah, Battlefield Earth, one of the worst sci-fi movies ever. Battlefield Earth is so bad, it's good. Like, it's so bad, it's good. It's laughably bad. See, the original Star Wars wasn't that bad to me. Like, even if you go back and watch it now without the remastered, the basics of how they did Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and early Star Trek wasn't really hard to look at. Now, some of the Star Trek episodes were, like where there's this green glowing hand in space, that was kind of hard to look at. But just like how the weapons fired and everything didn't honestly look that bad. Babylon 5 looked like it was a bunch of They took toothpicks and like put pieces of plastic on them to form ships, and then filmed them with their cell phone camera of the day. It just didn't look good to me. Battlefield 5 came out in the early 90s. The graphics were really good for the time. And see, I believe that, Roger. But this is it's in the very early days of CGI and everything, and yeah, just yeah. First TV series to go full digital for the effects. It was rough because of that. Stories are the best sci-fi ever. Let's see. So, like I said, I don't have anything against these shows, but it's there is a level there. It's one of the reasons that even though Wrath of Khan is in the 80s, I still love it because visually the Wrath of Khan is gorgeous. And also the writing matched up to the visual. So the space battle is happening in a nebula. It looks fantastic. They're actually using great tactics for three-dimensional warfare. It's enjoyable. Mystery Science Theater, never watched. So Dale, they actually can't remaster Deep Space Nine. Well, they can, but the reason you could remaster like TNG is because of how they filmed it. Because they did it digitally with DS9, you'd have to really go back and remake everything. So that's why you don't have a remastered DS9, but you have a remastered TNG. It's the way that they actually filmed it. You have to go back and recreate a lot of that stuff to bring it up. Strange New Worlds is amazing graphically, Eagle, and Strange New Worlds feels like that it's one of those shows that 20 years from now will still look good. Jay Hosko, not sure, my friend. Sequest was kind of like a better version of Voyager or Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. I've never watched that, so I wouldn't know. Strange New World is the best Star Trek show so far. Strange New World is the best live action season 1 ever. Lower Deck season 1 was extremely good. Like Lower Deck season 1 is great. But in terms of live action, Strange New Worlds was the best season 1 of any Star Trek show ever. There's very few Star Trek shows that have a good season 1. The original series has a good season 1. Not many others do. But yeah. Scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Blood and Honey, the new Winnie the Pooh slasher flick? Had no idea that was a thing, Phil. Honestly, I want to see it. I want to see it. Picard almost had a perfect season 1. Picard season 1 was really good. I just didn't really love the ending. But Picard season 1 is up there for a good start. But the ending just didn't live up to the rest of the season being good to me. And I guess that's up to people to decide whether that moves the needle for them. So, but for the whole first season, like the first season of Picard is a hell of a lot better than the first season of The Next Generation. The first season of The Next Generation is, like, if, I'll put it this way. If the first season of The Next Generation came out today, even with updated graphics, shelved. It would fail. It would fail. It was slow and just plodding aimlessly through the storyline. It was not well written. But TNG got better quickly. So, why not the easier to do faction hunt on a USA holiday weekend? I don't know. I don't even know what you're referring to be honest with you. Riker showing up with a fleet was pretty baller. Yeah, the only issue I have with Riker showing up with a fleet is that it was a copy pasta fleet. There's very few differences in all of it. It's one of those that, like, you can tell that they got rushed in productions. Like, hey, you got to get this out there, and you went Control C, Control P, Control C, Control P, Control C, Control P, just over and over and over and over. And I was like, no, But I don't mind the idea. I actually love when Star Trek uses more armadas of ships and fleets. And I love that about DS9. But DS9, they took the time to have a Kira class, an Excelsior class, and Galaxy class, and New Orleans, and all these others. They took the time to put that in there. Matt, I've always said this, and it's not popular with a lot of older Star Trek fans. The best Star Trek that's ever been produced was after Gene Roddenberry stepped away. TNG was better after Roddenberry. DS9 better after Roddenberry passed. You know, just I love what he started with the original series, but I believe Star Trek is a lot better afterwards. And I don't mean that like I am incredibly appreciative of Gene Roddenberry, and I loved what he did with the original series. But it took Roddenberry going away for Star Trek to really start rising to the top in the 90s, my opinion. So he can roll over in his grave, that's fine, but I can tell you that his estate still tries to honor his memory as much as possible. So, speaking of armadas, are we ever going to see a task force armada for like bases or fleet battles in the game? Possibly, Phil. Stay tuned. Ron Moore is an amazing writer. Like, for those that don't know, Ron Moore was like the premier writer for the new Battlestar Galactica series. He was writing with like Deep Space Nine in the 90s. Fantastic writer. Fantastic writer. Ronald D. Moore, amazing sci-fi writer. Same could be said about Star Wars and when Lucas was stepped away. I'll say this. I love Star Wars. I'm one of those Trekkies who love Star Wars too. But the best Star Wars has happened in the past decade. Hands down, no contest. The Clone Wars animated series is some of the best sci-fi writing and lore and storytelling of any sci-fi ever. Star Wars is so much better as a series than as a movie set. The stories of Star Wars now are so amazing. Now, have there been bad movies? Yeah. Disney put 3 terrible movies out. 3 terrible movies. But if you watch the Clone Wars series, The Mandalorian, you watch Rogue One, the movie, there's incredibly good content. Incredibly good content. The Obi-Wan series was amazing. The Obi-Wan series was insane. Even most of the movies have been pretty good. But yeah. Book of Boba Fett is also very good. Star Wars storytelling is so much better now than what it was growing up for me. So, hey Fresco, can I be excited about DS9? Yeah. You loved Rebels, great follow-up to Clone Wars. I thought Rebels was good. It wasn't as good as Clone Wars, but it was still very good to me. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and make some people mad. Rogue One is the best Star Wars movie ever made, period. Ever made, period. It has great dramatic effect with Vader at the end. It has a great storyline. It's great because there's not this need to keep your characters alive. So you actually experience real loss and real death in the movie. Like Rogue One could stand alone. Like Rogue One, as the only movie to ever come out, would be an amazing movie. The original trilogy of Star Wars needs the original trilogy. Like, you can't just watch the first Star Wars movie. It needs more. It needs more. Rogue One stands by itself, and you can never see anything else Star Wars and say, that was a great movie. Like, that was just a great movie. And that's one of the reasons I like Wrath of Khan, because it's the same way. You don't need to know the entire Star Trek story to enjoy Wrath of Khan. It helps, but they build that up on their own. It's built into the movie. That's what makes a great movie for me. If it can stand by itself and just be amazing. That's what makes Rogue One special, because the trilogy needs the trilogy. You need Return of the Jedi. You need that. And I am glad, Roboski, that they didn't make the Obi-Wan movie and instead turned it into a 6-episode series. Ugh. Young Shinjon, 40% more hair growth than Picard for 2 rounds. Yikes. Yikes, Ian. Oh, man. I'm glad y'all allow us to get into some good nerdy discussion. I enjoy it. And I'm always curious to see what y'all enjoy. But yeah, it's there's a reason that Rogue One is like so universally loved, and we all know that Star Wars fans are very critical of content. Hank says Wrath of Khan needed TOS. I don't agree, Hank. I had never watched the original series. when I watched Wrath of Khan and still fell in love because they explain who it is. Like, you build the drama early on. The storytelling for who Khan is built into the movie. You didn't need the original series to understand that. They explained it enough to where you built up the villain. So yes, it could have helped, but you don't need the original series at all. Like, Ricardo Montalban in Wrath of Khan is 100% standalone, great evil villain without the series. I got a friend in Star Wars about making them watch Phantom Menace. I mean, and the best way to do it is you had, the Admiral and you had Chekhov down at the Botany Bay, and you created this mysterious shrouded figure. You created this bad guy. It didn't matter that he existed before. The storytelling built him up as the villain, and they did such a great job with it. Yeah, Thrawn has to be in Ahsoka, for sure. And thank you, Gonzalez. I appreciate it. The ear things in Wrath of Khan gave you nightmares for weeks. Exactly. That's how you build a villain. You don't have to have the previous story re-interjected. You add something to give that villain that little bit of extra, like, oh, he's a bad guy. And they did such a good job with that in Wrath of Khan. Just such a good job with that in Wrath of Khan. The movie mistake was that Chekhov didn't meet Khan in Space Seed. And I agree. That's an issue. But that doesn't mean that Chekhov doesn't know about it. He doesn't read the reports. He doesn't hear the stories. So, not to mention the acting in Wrath of Khan is flawless. The worst actor in Wrath of Khan is William Shatner, and he probably did his best acting ever. William Shatner is such an over-the-top actor. It's just not my style. I don't like Shatner's style of acting. But that entire movie is so well done. I never forget a phase. Yeah, Andy, I know. But again, dramatic effect, and it worked. That sacrilege to Shatner. Look, if y'all want to just love on the double-handed hammer against the Gorn and stuff, and y'all want to, cool. But in terms of my favorite Star Trek captains and actors, Shatner's very low on the list. See, Blue Dog, I love the yours is superior ending. I like it. Which captain you like more, Sisko or Picard? Oh, Sisko, for sure. Because Sisko's more relatable. Picard is like this paragon of virtue and good. Like, I actually like Picard more in Picard than I do in The Next Generation. Even though I don't dislike Picard, I think he's a fantastic captain. But I can't relate to Jean-Luc Picard. Except for a couple of episodes. Jean-Luc Picard is essentially this perfect human being. Like, he's humble, he's gracious, but he's firm and he's strong. And he has like no mistakes and blemishes. He does everything right. The few little run-ins he had as a kid, he's become this great person. I don't relate to that. I relate to Sisko. I relate to Sisko getting petty and Sisko being like, oh, cool. You want to go to war with me? I'm going to eradicate everybody you know and love. That man, that's me. I'm Benjamin Sisko. You can tell he's from Louisiana. We're very petty. Sisko willing to commit genocide? That's me. I relate to that. He's imperfect, but he's trying to do what he believes is best. That's me. He's imperfect, but he's trying his best. I can relate to Sisko. I can see Sisko having legitimate anger and legitimate love and passion, whereas Picard is just like, here's how you know Rev's not Picard. Picard had no interest in celebrating on Risa in the traditional Risian ways. That's not Rev Deuce. Just want to let y'all know, Rev is not going to Risa and reading a book. Nope. 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 Just saying. Just saying. I'm very different than Jean-Luc Picard. Very different. Look look at Avery Brooks in American history. He's an intense actor. He is. Avery Brooks is very intense. But if y'all haven't noticed, that's my personality, especially for those who follow me on Twitch. Y'all know that I'm a very vivacious and very boisterous personality. So you're more like Picard? Yeah, as long you just got to find what you relate to. And I think that's the beauty of Star Trek is so expansive. You can relate to it no matter where you're at in your life. I mean, there's somebody for you to relate to. Like as Blue Dog says, wait till you reach your 50s, you'll understand. And maybe I will, but that's a long way away from me. So I'm staring at Benjamin Sisko, who's a young captain dealing with his emotions and dealing with his crew and dealing with calamities and things going on. And I relate to him. I don't relate to the Grand Explorer whose like harshest tone was the Wesley Crusher. Yeah, it's just, I think he's a great captain. But in terms of who's my favorite, Sisko. The actor in Wrath of Khan performed extremely well. A movie is just as great as the villain, and that movie was full on display. That statement, I agree. Like, and maybe I am too in love with Wrath of Khan, but like if I knew that I could play Wrath of Khan without Paramount getting pissed at me, I would host Wrath of Khan watch parties. So I mean, yeah. Why they hate on the Kelvin movies? I don't hate on the Kelvin movies. All three Kelvin movies are a hell of a lot better than Nemesis and Insurrection. They're a hell of a lot better than, oh God, The Final Frontier. So better doesn't mean it's good. I disagree with you, man. The Kelvin movies are good movies. They're good movies. The third one is my personal favorite. You gotten kind of closer to Twitch rep today than before on YouTube? Honestly, I don't think so. Twitch is pretty daggum wild. Twitch is pretty daggum wild. Into Darkness was a turd. I've gone back and watched Into Darkness, and I did it taking away the comparing it to Wrath of Khan. As soon as I stop comparing it to Wrath of Khan and I see it as its own movie, I think it's good. If you compare it to Wrath of Khan, it will never live up to it because it's not as good of a movie as Wrath of Khan. But by itself, did Benedict Cumberbatch provide a very good villain performance? He did. It's actually very good and believable. But as soon as you compare it to Wrath of Khan, it dies. But I think that Into Darkness is a good movie. The problem is if you're comparing it because it took, ideas from the previous iteration, it's going to fall flat. Personal opinion. Opinion of Star Trek Generations. Generations has good moments. Generations where where Lursa and B'Etor destroy the Enterprise, it's a good moment. Data where with the emotion ship and the songs and the oh shit moment is good Star Trek. But a lot of other things are not good Star Trek. Stevie, I'm happy to hear that. I really am. And make sure that you provide feedback in that Incursions form. It'll launch tomorrow, but y'all are the first ones getting a crack at it. So y'all are the first ones getting a crack at it. Worf in the British Navy outfit. Yeah. Data, I really enjoy that they put in Generations a lot of character development for Data. But I would say this. Personal opinion. Generations is better than the first Star Trek movie. The motion picture is bad. Sorry. The motion picture is a bad movie. Like, the worst Star Trek movie in existence to me is still better than a lot of other movies, but the motion picture is not a good picture to me. Star Trek Beyond, he resonated with the Beastie Boys song and The Swarm. I do like Star Trek Beyond. The reason I like Star Trek Beyond is because it felt like the most Star Trek movie. And it had an original plot line. It felt like a beefed up episode. You want a Klingon focused movie? Same. Wet says your survey could use a did not participate option, but didn't really have an opinion on the rest because they didn't participate. Well, you can still comment on has Incursions improved based on the feedback. I'm assuming you participated at some point. Life forms, you tiny little life forms, you precious little life forms. Where are you? Oh my goodness, I love it. Such a great moment. Want a horror-based movie on the Federation colony being invaded by the Borg. That sounds like a cool fan film idea. I showed Server 17 love twice, did I? Did I? R-rated Star Trek movie about the Klingon Civil War with bloody battle scenes would be epic. Ooh, I like it. I like it. First Contact was definitely a... First Contact provided a lot more drama. And I don't know if I can go into full horror mode, but it's a good movie. I like First Contact. Congrats, K92, on Jaylah to tier 3. Congratulations. Now that Data song is stuck in my head. Precious little life forms. Where are you? Harrison Janeway at Warp 10. Oh God, that's, if I had to put up worst Star Trek episode of all time, that's up there. That's up there. Oh man, that is way up there. Jeez. I can't believe they just left the children. Like they just left the lizard babies. They just left the lizard babies. Can't believe they just left the lizard babies. All right, y'all, we're going to wrap up today. Falcon, good to see you here, man. We're going to wrap up because we've been live. I got to prep the video for tomorrow, and I appreciate everybody hanging out. Appreciate y'all supporting the forum. The forum will be put out tomorrow. Please, 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 if you are one of the 400 people watching, I need everybody to hardcore push the video tomorrow with your alliance and your server. We need 5,000 people to respond. We've done it before. We desperately need this so that we can bring back feedback and hopefully result in more changes. We have literal proof they have changed Incursions based on your feedback, which means we need to give more feedback. If you want Incursions to change, be better, whatever that reasoning is, put it in the form and we're going to go through the information. Like the videos you're heading out, and if you'd be so kind, think about donating to the channel. Content creators can't survive without your help, so everything's appreciated. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App. Appreciate all of you so much. Live long and prosper. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. We'll catch you in the next video. I'm outie, and I really, really appreciate the hell out of every single one of you. You're all amazing. No matter what your parents said about you, I think you're great.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.